Okay, so thank you everyone for joining this session. I promise I won't take up too much time. And then I'll just introduce our speaker today, and then I'll come back near the end just to help close things out. So Angelique is a lifestyle guide and empowerment facilitator serving millennial women and CEO and founder of the Adulthood Edit. At age 30, she entered a period of anxiety and confusion surrounding transition into adulthood. And as she worked through it, her passion for helping other millennial women grow their confidence in adulting expanded. She provides relatable, real talk through her fun and value-focused content, where she serves up guidance on how to connect deeply to the key areas of life while creating the life that you ultimately desire in adulthood. Thanks so much for your presentation today. Good luck with everything. And then again, I'll be back at the end. And everyone, please utilize the chat section. It's a great opportunity to ask all the questions that you like, and we'll be happy to answer them near the end.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sandra. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you're having fun. The sessions before me were awesome, and I hope you got to enjoy them as well. I'm going to quickly share my screen, and we're going to dive straight into it. All right, here we go. Awesome. So if for any reason you cannot see this PowerPoint of mine, please let me know in the chat. But also in the chat, let me know where you're coming from today, and let me know what brought you to this job fair. So as you know, my topic is how to grow your confidence to crush your job search. And I think it's a really important topic, and we're going to be coming at it from a different angle. So not as technical as maybe what you've been seeing so far in some of the sessions, but we're definitely going to be talking about these crucial elements that you will need in order to not only grow confidence to crush your job search, but to crush anything that you're really looking to go for in life. All right. So there we go. All right. So what we're going to dive into today, number one, we're going to be talking about job searching and clubbing. Just hear me out. I guarantee that there's more to them, and they have more in common than you think. So we're going to take a look at what they have in common. Number two, we're going to talk about how to grow your confidence. So I'm going to share 3 awesome ways to help you dive into that. And then number 3, we're going to do the wrap up. So the key points I think that you should remember, if nothing else. And hey, in case we haven't met before, my name is Angelique MacArthur, and as Sandra said, I am a lifestyle guide and an empowerment facilitator. I am a lover of many things. As you can see, writing, great times with awesome people, love playing field hockey, and of course, travel, and ice cream is number 1. I can probably name any Baskin-Robbins flavor that you can throw at me. If you are a lover of ice cream or something else, let me know in the chat as well. I'm also a proud Torontonian, and a wife, a daughter, and a friend. And these are all things that I wear proudly. So I wanted to share a little bit about me, and I'd love to hear about you in the chat. Don't be shy. This is a safe space. So let me know a little bit about you. So number 1, job searching and clubbing. These are probably 2 experiences you never thought you would hear about together. But I'm going to share why they're actually super relatable. So you remember when back in the day, maybe before COVID, you and your friends would get ready to have a really great night on the town. Saturday night came, you're ready to have a good time. And the first thing you guys do is you find the best club to go to, right? You're doing the research, you're doing all the things. Then the next thing is you guys get together, especially me and my girls, we'd always get together and, get ready and prep before the big night. And then of course, you made sure you looked good, you had everything in check. What happens though, when you get to the club? You might have an experience where you've gotten denied entry after going through all the work of putting yourself together, finding the club, all of those things. And it's the same with job searching. It can feel like you're on a never-ending hamster wheel of doing the work and the research to find the job that you want. All right, then you make sure you prep for the job, you get your questions ready, you prepare with friends, whatever you need to do, practice interviews. You go to the job interview, making sure you look great, you're on point, you're ready to go, only to be told, unfortunately, we went with a different candidate. And sometimes this can feel so disempowering because you're on that wheel, you feel like it's never going to end, and you're wondering, how am I going to get that step further? How am I going to get the job that I'm looking for? Put I can relate in the comments if you can relate, all right? So now, once you've kind of been through that experience, we've all been there. I can definitely testify to saying I have been through that. when you've gone through that, you're going to have to find different ways in order to stand out, in order to make yourself rise above the crowd. And of course, one thing that people always notice is the confidence you bring to the table. Sometimes we meet people in our day-to-day lives and we can't really put our finger on it, but they just seem to be extremely confident. They're just naturally confident people. They love whatever they're doing, or they just have that gravitational pull. And you're like, I can't put my finger on it, but that person, there's something about that. The confidence that you build within yourself carries through not only to the job that you choose, but also to other areas of your life. And it's really something that you want to build as a skill, because it's going to help you to get further in whatever endeavor you choose. So we're going to look at 3 awesome ways to help you right now to rock your job search. So if you have a pen and paper, keep it handy. And of course, make sure that you're taking notes. I'd love to hear what's resonating with you. Right. So the first thing is know and own who you are and where you're heading. Too often, I see people will get in the job search wheel. They're trying to make sure that they're, they're willing to do whatever is out there, but they're not even sure what they're really looking for themselves. They don't know their own standards of what they're looking for. They're just trying to grab at anything. When you're going for a job, you want to make sure that you're confident, not only in the skills that you bring to the table, but you know that what you're looking for, why you're looking for it, and you're confident in that. So first is to take inventory of your paradigm and get it in check. Your paradigm, if you don't know what that is, it's actually another word for mindset. It's a multitude of habits and patterns that you act out on a daily basis. And they in turn create the behaviors, and therefore your behaviors create your results. You need to take hold of your paradigm and your mindset and shift it into what is going to be helpful for you and serve you. Sometimes that means you're going to think of, different ways to implement new positive behaviors and habits to take over from the negative ones. And sometimes that's just a simple practice of writing down on a sheet of paper what you feel the habits and patterns that you have are not working for you, and then writing the opposite of what you do want to take place. Just starting there could be a really great way to get you to start shifting to a better mindset that's actually going to serve you rather than hinder you. Too often we go into, an interview or something like that, and, you're nervous, you feel overwhelmed, you look at other people who are there too, maybe it's a group interview and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. All these other people seem way more qualified. All of these things are parts of your mindset that are controlling and are on repeat in your head and playing like a loop. So you need to check out what is the loop that you have going on, because that's what you act on. Your thoughts create the emotion that creates the feeling, and that feeling creates the behavior that you act upon. So it goes thoughts, feelings, and actions. So you got to be very aware of what that is, because that could be helping you or hindering you when you show up at an interview. Okay. The second thing is remember the importance of energy management. You'll never be able to manage other people's energy. You can only manage your own. So it's really important to manage that really well and make sure that you're taking inventory again. What are you feeling? Why is it causing this for you? What is triggering you? In order, whether that's nervousness or you feel like you're underqualified, whatever it is, energy management is everything. And what you show up with, that je ne sais quoi, that thing that people have that you can't pinpoint, but you see somebody that's super confident. Think of James Bond, okay? Super confident. Everybody looks at him and thinks of that character as an ultra confident person. It's the attitude, the confidence that he has, that he exudes, and he's managing his energy. And when you do that, you're not allowing what's outside of you to control what you're thinking and, what you're doing. You're making sure that you're actually making sure that what's happening inside is controlling what's happening outside. The reason why I say this is because too often we react rather than respond. So even in an interview, you might be reacting to a situation or the people around you rather than standing in your confidence and responding accordingly. It's really important because that is something that employers are looking for in their candidates too. Somebody who can command the room, and also that they can remain calm and confident no matter what the situation is. So please be sure to make sure of energy management. Tell me if that's ever happened to you in the chat. I'd love to know, have you ever gone to an interview and felt really uncomfortable or felt really out of place or nervous? And what did you do to get better? All right. And so the last point is to live from the end. So after you created a paradigm, written down all the things that your paradigm is now, and you've written down all the things you want to replace it with, then you want to make sure that you're living from the end. And how you do that is making sure that you're visualizing in advance the way you want that interview to go. So often, a lot of people will practice just one-on-one, maybe with somebody else when they're about to go into an interview, but they don't live from the end. That means that you're showing up now as the person that you want to be at that interview. It's important to embody that before you go in, because that helps you to build your confidence as well. And so it's really important to do that in advance. So from the moment you know the job that you want and you're looking to go to this interview, start embodying, who is that person that I need to be in order to get this job? What are they looking for? Who do I need to show up as? And start embodying them today, acting as if. And I can tell you that this works because I know that maybe you've heard of this too, that Olympians, they use visualization in order to visualize themselves winning that gold and all the steps that take place before that. And it's really important as a part of their program that they use in order to practice and get ready for the Olympics or any major event. So you want to do that in your life too. What is it that you're working towards? What can you visualize and move ahead on? And what is it that you can make sure that you're looking at embodying now? All right. The next part is mastering self-leadership over your life. You control your life, nobody else. And 100% responsibility is crucial. Too often we allow things to drop here and there, or we like to place blame on things. It's a natural thing that humans do, but we have to make sure that we're taking full responsibility for anything that happens. If you didn't land that job, you need to question why. What were you saying? How are you showing up? What were you embodying? Were you living from the end? Were you letting your paradigm run on a loop? Practice learning and breaking down what happened at that actual interview and making sure that you're deciphering it so that you can see what you can change for the next time. There's no point in going on the blame game path, because really at the end of the day, that's you doing you a disservice. And I want to help you to make sure that you're getting to what you want to go, the place you want to go to. So the next point is focusing only on what you want. Keep the negative talk to a very minimal amount, if any at all, and focus only on where you're going. There's going to be obstacles, yes. There's going to be distractions, yes, but it's up to you to focus so you can get to that finish line. The job that you're looking for, they're also looking for people who can focus on what is important. So when you have something that doesn't go your way, don't look at it as a failure or downfall. Look at it as something that you can learn from, build upon, and grow. So focusing only on what you want is also another practice of living from the end. That gives you the opportunity to see what you need to do and what you need to change and modify. Okay. And then of course, my last thing that I want you to start asking yourself in a different way, will this make the boat go faster? So in the 2000 London Olympics, there was the British rowing team, they hadn't won gold since, I believe it was 1912. And they said, of course, this year we want to win gold, especially now that the Olympics is at home. And so what they really kept saying to themselves, in order to make sure that they were always focused on what they want, they were asking for any decision they made, whether it was going to a party that night, what they were about to drink, what they were about to eat, anything. They asked themselves, will this make the boat go faster? That helped them to narrow down yes or no. And that helped them to really clarify what they actually needed to do in order to make the boat go faster and win. Now, you need to ask yourself whatever question that may be to help you focus, but it's just the one question. So that could be, will this help me to get the job that I want? Whatever that question may be, focus on that one question to help you make decisions from here and there and anything else, okay? Awesome. So the next part is becoming an amazing communicator and connector. Networking is a massive thing. You know that there's a networking session here today. And of course, you've met people maybe from the other sessions previously before. So one thing you want to do is listen to Maya Angelou, okay? So she says, words are things, okay? And words are very important. Too often we think that there are, different situations that come up and we think, oh, it doesn't matter what I said. It doesn't matter what I was doing, but words matter a lot. And that includes the words you're telling yourself in order to become confident. So listen to Maya Angelou and practice words that are going to upbuild you. Practice using those words, okay? And also she says, you teach people how to treat you. So that's why confidence is so important, because when you meet somebody, like I said, that has that je ne sais quoi, you don't know why they're just so magnetic. They're teaching people through their energy management and through their confidence, they're teaching people how to treat them. So that's why practicing and embodying who you want to be in advance is really important, okay? Now, next is don't sleep on your intuition. Too often we disregard those gut feelings that we have about whether it's applying for a job or you go to an interview and things seem not right. Don't ignore those signs, okay? It's there to protect you and to guide you. And too often we will say, oh, that's nothing, or that doesn't exist. Let me tell you, your gut reactions are definitely real, and you want to learn to grow and nurture them and to be intuitive to them. They're gonna help guide you to where you need to go. Don't abandon your voice is a really big thing too. When you go into interviews, sometimes you want to hold back because maybe other people are around and you don't want to, feel like you're overstepping or you're not giving other people a chance. It's not about bullying your way through, but it is about making sure that you're not shrinking back and, allowing everybody else to shine and not shining your awesome light too. So don't abandon your voice. When you need to speak up or you want to interject or you want to add something to the conversation in an interview, do so. And that comes across as somebody who's confident because you know what you're saying and you're only saying what matters. Understand that everything is a relationship. You have a relationship with your phone. You have a relationship with people. You have a relationship with your job. Everything is a relationship. It's something that you've entered into a contract with, whether you know it or not, energetically, and you need to make sure that you're representing yourself as best you can in that position at your job and elsewhere. So you want to make sure that you understand that everything you interact with is you forming a relationship of some type. The amount of time you spend on your phone is a relationship that you're creating with that phone. Sometimes, people feel like they can't be without their phone. That's a relationship that they've created with that phone. It's the same thing with your job. What is a relationship that you want to have with your job? Who do you want to be in that relationship as well and show up as? And just also remember, the boundaries are necessary. So when you're going for a job, you want to make sure that you're confident enough to know what your boundaries are, not only for monetary reasons or just making sure you know what the job description is, but also making sure that it aligns with your values and it aligns with your principles. Those are things you should never compromise on. And if you're going to be in any position, you want to make sure that they honor that. So it's really important to know what your boundaries are in advance. So here are some questions. If you have a pen and paper handy, as I mentioned before, here are some questions that are going to help you on your journey in regards to getting more clear on who you want to be and embody and the confidence that you want to grow within yourself. So when it comes to jobs, the first question you can ask is, why do I want this position? And what are my intentions as a team member of this company? Number 2, do my values and the values of the company align? Number 3, who do I have to become to not only land this job, but thrive at it? Okay. Number 4, am I ready to make a firm decision to go after what I want until I achieve it? The reason why I included that one is because too often we're wishy-washy on decisions. A confident person isn't wishy-washy on their decisions. They stand by it. Whether the decision happened in the way that they wanted to or not, they understand that they can always learn a lesson from whichever way it goes. And they stand by that decision. So when you have, like I said in the beginning, you find out who you are and you know who you are and what it is that you want in that position, then that's going to help guide you in making decisions. Also, that question I asked before, will this make the boat go faster? You asking, will this help me land the job that I want, or whatever way you want to frame that question for yourself is going to help you make firm decisions. You want to be somebody who stands by their decisions. This is somebody who's confident. And that's something that you can build in small ways as a skill as you go up. So it could be something where you're just learning to make decisions on what to eat for dinner. Lord knows, I still struggle with that. It's like, what are we going to eat every night? But when you start making even small decisions in that way, right, you grow in your confidence to make bigger decisions for yourself. And also following your intuition is going to help you make better decisions. So that's why you shouldn't dismiss it. Now, once you've landed the job that you covet and wanted so badly, I have some questions here that I think are going to be very, very helpful for you once you're in that position. So making sure that you're always realigning yourself with that job to make sure it's not only suitable for you, but also for your employer and the client that you're serving. Super important not to forget that your energy and what you bring to the table is not just for you and your employer, but it affects the client that you're serving as well. So you can see the 6 questions that I have here, and I think that they're very important. You can tweak them not just for a job, but you can also, of course, use them in anything with life that you can tweak them a bit. But number 1 is, where's my energy at right now in this very moment? Too often, like I said, we react to things, we let outside dictate how we're, thoughts we're thinking, what we're feeling, and how we're acting. So you need to go within and manage your energy and see where it's at right now. Are you feeling great? Are you feeling not so great? And asking questions as to why. Then, of course, what are my intentions in this position? Have they changed? Because sometimes it happens. You go in for one thing and you come out and you're like, okay, maybe a few months in, you're like, I don't know if this is still for me. And what are my intentions? That's making sure you're taking still 100% responsibility for your life, because your intentions and what you bring to the table is important. So you're managing that. And then, of course, number 3, what triggers, if any, are coming up for me at work? What story am I telling myself about this person or situation as a whole? So, things happen at work, situations happen, and sometimes you can be triggered. And so you want to make sure that you're not making up stories that aren't serving you. Once again, that loop and that paradigm running away, you want to make sure that you have things that are serving you. So it's always constantly asking the stories around things that trigger you. What am I willing to shift now to be my best in this job position? Very important. Am I practicing honesty with grace with my coworkers? And am I also making an effort to connect? So sometimes, again, you may not mesh with personalities, but it's really important to understand that you recognize that they're human beings and you're being graceful with them. And sometimes you have to be honest, and it can feel uncomfortable, but being honest with grace is being honest with kindness. You can still show up and make sure you're not abandoning your voice. You're saying what you need to say, but you can say it kindly. And that helps to manage personalities as well, because you're understanding that they're a human being with feelings as well, but you're also asserting yourself and making sure that they know how to treat you, as Maya Angelou says, because you teach them how to treat you. So it's just a dynamic that you learn to work around. And then, of course, number 6, is this job agreement still serving my employer, the client, and myself? If not, what do I desire to have happen from here on out, and what will I change? All right, so the wrap up, if you remember nothing else, please remember this. It all starts in the boardroom of your mind. Before you sit in any boardroom physically, it starts here. That's why you have to manage your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. You have to manage your energy. You have to learn to listen to your intuition and go within. You have to learn to be a great decision maker. And it all starts up here. Okay, your self-confidence is something to build and maintain daily. There's going to be things that knock you down, that feel bad, aren't that great, but you want to make sure that you're building that up and maintaining that on a daily basis, because you're awesome. Energy management, taking 100% responsibility for yourself, and being an amazing communicator and connector are indispensable qualities for any job position, and really for anything in life. And remember this, you get to create the life that you want, and that includes your job. So make a decision to make it happen. Once you make the decision, everything else will show up for you. And that's absolutely true. Once you make the decision and are firm on that, you're not wishy-washy, everything will show up for you. The people, the things you need, everything, okay? And if you ever want to connect on that, and I have great books I can recommend to help you learn more about that, but it's very important that you learn to make decisions, okay? And remember, you don't have to do anything, you get to, okay? And the last thing is, your next steps are to take what serves you and apply it. So I hope that was helpful. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, and please keep connected. If you have questions or anything like that, let me know. I have a free Facebook group for millennial women called The Connected and Created Millennial Life. We'd love to have you join us as we talk about all awesome things, and of course, how to grow your life as an adult and adulting. So I'd love to help you out with that. If you have any other questions, please drop them in the comments. And thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate that. And I believe that Sandra is going to join us in a moment in order to moderate. So we'll just wait for Sandra. And there she is.
Oh, we just have a question here. I don't know if you can see it. What books do you recommend to learn to take firm decisions and coping with regret?
Hey, Mustafa, thanks. That's a fantastic question. So the first book that I would really highly recommend on learning about decision making is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Super classic, and it's a fantastic book. There's a whole chapter on there on decision making. Do not disregard what you learn in that book. A lot of people will say, "Ah, that doesn't seem practical. That doesn't seem right." But so many people have, gone on not only to get jobs that they want, but other great things for their life from reading that book. So I highly recommend that and learning how to make decisions. There's really great books as well called like The Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy is a really great way to help you with learning more about ways to, like you said, cope with regret, but also to learn how to create a paradigm that serves you. And that's going to help you to build your confidence once you're confident about the thoughts that you're thinking and the feelings that you're feeling, which lead to the actions that you take. So start with those two books. I think they're really great. Plus, you can find awesome content by Bob Proctor online about decision making. So Google or YouTube, rather, Bob Proctor, and type in decision making, and you'll find all kinds of great stuff. But these are people who are legends and they've been around for a long time and they know what they're talking about. So definitely take their advice to heart.
I actually had a question. I know you talked a little bit about starting off small and sort of working your way up. So can you maybe give some examples on how people can sort of start small in making, decisions,
Absolutely.
and then how they can progress that forward?
Totally. So decision making is something that we're not taught in school, but it's really what guides our life. You have to make decisions about everything, which way, whether you know it or not, or you're aware of it. Even just when you wake up in the morning, we tend to have routines. We don't notice that we're doing it because we're on autopilot. And so that's why it's really important to be aware of the thoughts you think. I get up out of bed, I'll go to the washroom, I brush my teeth, you get tea, you just do these things on autopilot. And so those are decisions that you're making, but you're not aware of it because it's just something that you do. So maybe the first thing to do that could be really helpful with decision making is to recognize the routines that you have. So look at your day from start to finish. From when you wake up and your feet hit the ground, what are you doing? That's going to show you A, where you're using your time, how you're utilizing it. And B, it's going to show you if you're making decisions that A, are serving you or not. So starting in even that small way could be looking at, say, your breakfast. Are you eating something that's really quick and on the run? Maybe you grab something somewhere and it's not the greatest choice for you. Or could you find ways to maybe prep in advance in order to get something that's more nutritious? So you can start really small with just, what am I going to eat in the morning? You can start even smaller than that, like the toothpaste. Is this toothpaste brand what I would like? And it sounds crazy, but these small things help you to build your confidence. Confidence comes from you taking a risk and trying something outside of the box. Most people don't recognize that that's what self-confidence is. It's not about people look at self-confidence as something that's like, oh, I'm just like this amazing, awesome person out here. But self-confidence comes from small things that add up. You learn as kids to be really confident, but you don't notice that confidence, because kids are just naturally confident because they don't have a problem with trying new things. So maybe it's just trying something new in a setting for yourself, whether that's trying out a new toothpaste, a new breakfast recipe, whatever that may be. And that's how you learn to make decisions for yourself rather than being dictated by what's happening outside of you. Does that help?
Yes.
Great.
The other thing I was going to ask is, I know you had some contact information at the end there. Are you able to put that into the chat just so
Absolutely.
Our viewers can copy that down?
Absolutely. I will.
And I'm not sure if you have links to the books as well, but if you do, perhaps you can also add that in there too.
Absolutely. So these are my links that you can find me at, and I'm just going to see if I can. Okay, great. So find me on, that's my Instagram. Here is my Facebook, and I'll also give my Facebook group. For the actual, I have so many. What I can do, I'm trying to think the best way to do this. I can give you names of books and they can find that are easy to find. Yeah. I got all of these books on Amazon, and a great way if money's tight, I would say a great way to do is buy the Kindle version because you're going to get it way cheaper. I also found it on Scribd. I'll type it here, .com. You get a free month trial on Scribd. And so you can read as many books as you like that you would normally pay for from Amazon on there. So that's a great way to try it out as well. But here, I'll type them in the chat here.
Okay, perfect.
Which time do we have, just so I know?
Just if I think this would be the last question that I would have, just because the panel is going to be starting. But obviously, our viewers are more than welcome to reach out to you after the event as well. And if they have any more questions, they can ask you through email or through your LinkedIn. And we do have a panel starting at 3:30. So if everyone would like to head over to the panel, you would just have to click onto the main stage button on the left-hand side. And of course, networking is also open as well. So you can also chat with others at the event and speakers if they're also in the chat as well.
Totally. Absolutely.
Okay. Is there anything else, just, very quickly, if you wanted to add anything?
I would just say own who you are and understand that any company would be really great to have you, but you have to understand that there's a lot of awesome candidates too. And that's why building your confidence is going to be really helpful for you, so that you don't feel so much rejection if you don't get that position, but you're going to be able to learn and grow so that you end up ultimately getting what you do want in the long run.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your presentation, and thanks everyone for joining this session.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.